All right, we're talking about tea today. Are you a fan of tea? I'm a fan of tea, and I think tea can be perfectly appropriate for spring wear. This was actually featured in my deep dive video on top 10 spring notes. If you haven't caught that video, it's also in the info box. You can click the link and watch that video in its entirety. It's a long format. I think it's around 2.5 to 3 hours long, so it's quite long, unedited, but this is the tea portion of that video pulled into a separate video here and edited for easier viewing, I guess, because some of you like shorter videos. But yeah, it's all about tea today. Perfect for spring. This is more spring style tea fragrances. I've also got autumn in the autumn video, autumn tea fragrances, but tea for spring. But before I talk about the tea fragrances today, guys, I'm mentioning Scentfest SF to you, reminding you that it is happening on June 26, 27, and 28. It's linked in the info box. Click the link, find out all about it, and plan your trip. Come out here and enjoy Scentfest. It's going to be a great show with awesome brands and great fragrance experiences at a most amazing venue overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz and the San Francisco Bay, and also happening around a few other fragrance and beauty related events, all explained in the announcement video. Go catch that video and book your tickets and come and experience Scentfest SF. Now on to tea fragrances for spring. Now we're going to tea. And you're wondering, if you watched the autumn video that I had tea in that video, I do find tea to be two different kinds, you know, like more substantial tea fragrances for the autumn, ones that are laced with spices and things like that. But there's also the airy, cleaner kind of tea fragrances that I think are more appropriate for spring. And I've got pretty awesome collection of tea fragrances here. And we're going to start off with Bvlgari Thé Blanc. So I still have the Eau de Cologne edition of this fragrance. Recently, this and also Eau de Verte were converted to Eau de Toilette. I don't know why the brand decided to do that, but all along these have been around since the early to mid 90s and as Eau de Colognes, and the brand decides to change them to Eau de Toilettes. I don't know. But Eau de Blanc is a Jacques Cavalier creation, and it's my favorite between the Eau de Verte and the Eau de Blanc. It's a bit smoother, it's a bit more embraceable. I like the powdery effect. It's cleaner, it's a bit soapier, and there's something about the Eau de Verte from Bvlgari that kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why, but it almost like it's stuck in powder and it kind of evaporates right away. This at least clings on a little bit and I could smell it longer. I don't know if that's the way to explain what I'm experiencing. But I like the way this smells. I just don't know what they've done with it now that they've converted it to Eau de Toilette. But I think this is a great tea scent for spring. But obviously you guys know Eau de Colognes don't last as long, so you're going to have to replenish this over and over again. Hopefully they have not changed the smell too much that since they converted it to an Eau de Toilette, because when they change concentrations, the smell changes, and hopefully it's got a better longevity now that it's been intensified. But I really love it. It's a more like a gentle take on tea. It's a Thé Blanc from Bvlgari. Thé Blanc. I'm going to the house of PROAD next. Green Tea, created by Quentin Biche. I did a video on the collection of tea fragrances from PROAD. It's a Thai brand. And green tea is a favorite of mine. Green tea is so bright and happy. Oh my God, it's so good. It's definitely got the signature Quentin Biche DNA. I think this could fall somewhere between Fleur Narcotique, Neroli Amara, fragrances like that. If you like fragrances like that, and you like Quentin Biche's creations, this is definitely one for you to try. Really love it. It's fresh, citrusy, a bit powdery, but very beautiful. Very beautiful. So that's PROAD's Green Tea. My favorites from this collection, there's 4 of them. There's a red tea, I think, which I don't care for. Black tea is number 3. And this one and the white tea are my favorites. But this one actually is kind of creeping up to be a bit more of a favorite than the white tea. But all along, the white tea was my favorite because it was a bit more gourmand leaning. But I like the freshness on this one. Green Tea from PROAD. Now, I am throwing this one in here as well. It might be a bit dark for spring, but it's a molecular fragrance. I'm going to throw it in because it's black tea. It might be smoky. And I felt like black tea fragrances should be more autumn. Green tea, white tea for red tea for spring, but I think this is fine. It's molecule 1 plus black tea. And so it's basically this fragrance, molecule 1, with the addition of black tea in the note. And this has gotten quite dark since I Got it. It's cedarwood, sandalwood with the addition of black tea. So it's a bit dark and smoky, very woody, but it's also minimalistic. It's not super complex. It's not going to overwhelm. You've got that cozy smell of the black tea in here with that slightly creamy, dusty, muskiness of the ISOE Super. It's perfect on its own, but you can also use it to enhance fragrances, both of them. Maybe you thought you want to, I don't know, as I was saying earlier, you can use Molecule 1 with Un Bois, but maybe you want to use this for another fragrance I have here called Tea and Rock and Roll. So it'll enhance it. You can do that with these fragrances. But let's move on next to Van Cleef and Arpels, speaking of Neroli Amara, which is sort of similar to green tea from PROAD. This is not Neroli Amara, this is Thé Amara from Van Cleef and Arpels. Kind of a green-leaning tea fragrance. Green, as in green notes, not necessarily green tea. But it's super fresh and a bit minty, super cozy, very fresh, a bit vegetal, a bit watery. I don't know why, but I'm getting cucumber as well. Like I said, the wateriness, like it's a bit ozonic, but it's super fresh, super fresh. I think green notes are appropriate for spring, and this is acting very green. And I've got two green categories in here in a little bit. We've got green floral notes and green notes specifically. I love green fragrances, and I just feel like green is spring, you know? Everything's gone green. And you've got to have green fragrances. And this is acting very green for a tea fragrance. And I think it's the fact that there must be some ozonic notes like violet leaves, and there's also mint in here. So it's acting a little bit like Nishane's Ege, but it's more like a green tea with those notes. So Thé Amara from the house of Van Cleef and Arpels. Let me know your thoughts on that. Next, we've got Tea and Rock and Roll from Voyages Imaginaires. This is an all-natural brand, by the way, if you guys don't know, I should say. I have a video shot with the founders of this brand, and the founders of that brand, one of them is the daughter of Annick Goutal, who was with Annick Goutal, or Goutal Paris now, and the other founder of Voyages Imaginaires is Isabelle Doyen, who is a perfumer, or was a perfumer at Annick Goutal. So they did this fragrance. It's a sort of creamy but fresh and invigorating kind of a take on tea. It's super cozy, a little bit spicy, and it's just very happy and joyful, I think. It gives me that kind of an energy. I've been drinking a lot of tea lately. I've been hanging out at home working on a project quite a bit, and also been sick, and I've been making tea, and I have this awesome container of Mariage Frere tea. It's called Rushka. So it's basically a type of Earl Grey, super intense bergamot in there. And when I smell this fragrance from Voyages Imaginaires called Tea and Rock and Roll, it reminds me of me opening up that container of Rushka tea from Mariage Frere and what I smell in the canister. That's what it reminds me of. It's so like I kind of want to have a cup of tea right now, but that's so good. It's really great in the fragrance with the tea notes and everything. But as I was saying earlier, since it is an all natural fragrance, you can combine these two together and enhance one another. Let's do it right now on camera. So if you're ever going to enhance anything with Molecule 1 fragrances, not the Escentric fragrances, but the Molecule fragrances. But most importantly, the Molecule 1, Molecule 2, Molecule 4, and all of the flankers of Molecule 1 like black tea. There's the ginger, there's the gaiac, there's the iris, patchouli, mandarin. So you layer down the Molecule 1 first. So spritz that down and let it dry a little bit. So basically, you're boosting up Voyages Imaginaires Tea and Rock and Roll with woods, cedarwood, sandalwood combo, and also black tea. And this is a tea-focused fragrance. The combo works. It works great, actually. Oh, wow. So yeah, it changes the smell a little bit. I think it alters the smell because Molecule 1 plus black tea is the ISOE Super plus the black tea smell. And the black tea smell in there did not smell like the tea in Tea and Rock and Roll. So it does enhance the smell. But you do have a bit more, intensity here with the two together. And so it enhanced the smell, or it changed the smell a little bit. But what happens with this is it boosts it up a little bit as well. It prolongs the life of the fragrance a little bit. So that is a great combo right there. Tea and rock and roll and molecule 1 plus black tea together. So up next, going to a house called Nissaba. This is Chaco. This is Nissaba Chaco. I actually have a video on the channel with the perfumer of this fragrance, shot in Grasse, France. If you're curious to learn about Nissaba and also ingredients that come from the south of France like lavender, search for those videos. This is a tea and petitgrain. So a lot of aromatics, lots of mate, green tea, earthy notes, and aromatic notes to create this very interesting combination of aromatic and fresh ingredients with kind of a grassy tea effect happening. And in the heat, this stuff shines so much. It smells so great, so realistic, and the brand pays tribute to certain parts of the world rather than countries. Like this is Paraguay, I think, and I think also because that's where we get a lot of petitgrain note, and so they have featured the ingredients that come from these kind of areas. But the fragrance itself is so awesome. Check it out. Definitely one of my favorites. And it's a more aromatic and herbal take on the tea-focused fragrances. And I'm saying a tea and aromatics because there's a lot of, like, the mate that they're using in here is very grassy. Like, you can really experience the grassiness of the mate. So very great. It's fresh, invigorating, and also green-leaning. So that is Chaco from Nissaba. The only store that sells that brand in the States is Scent Room in LA and Dallas. So if you ever are there or looking for that brand, tell them Sebastian sent you. Up next, going to the house of Parfums de Nicolai, we've got Fig Tea. Fig Tea is a fun fragrance from Nicolai, probably one of their more popular fragrances. 9 out of 10 times people mention this fragrance for this house. It's a fruity take on tea. Once again, perfect for spring. All of these fragrances are perfect, I think. And these are also a bit more substantial, so you can also wear them when it's a bit cooler outside, because the soft musks and the light woods were a bit more skin scenty, so maybe warmer days, but there's some substance here with these fragrances, so you can pull them out when it's cooler outside. But they would smell really awesome in warm weather, I think, too. But the Nicolai is a fun, happy, playful tea-style fragrance. Fruity. The fruitiness in fragrances always adds this layer of fun and playful happiness. I don't know if you guys get that with fruity fragrances. I do. And that gives me that kind of a vibe when I smell it. But next, probably one of the most popular tea fragrances on the market. It's a Wulong Cha from Nishane. Definitely deserving of all the hype that it gets because people really love it. This wasn't one of the first fragrances that I wore from this brand, but better late than never. I really enjoy it now. It's super cozy, super fresh, green leaning, but definitely one of the best tea fragrances out there on the market. I agree. People love it for a reason because it's so good. I do get the grassy effect in this one as well. Sometimes that's what I get with tea. There's an aromatic grassiness, like it's almost like dried grass, like lawn or something. I'm not talking about marijuana. We do have a fragrance that has cannabis here in a little bit, but that's what I get with tea sometimes, and it's a bit grassy. Mostly in Chaco. Chaco is very green tea grassy, but I get it with the Wulong Cha as well. I love that. It's so good. It reminds me a little bit also of Ambra Calabria. Ambra Calabria is here on this list, I believe, in this video, I should say. But they're so different. It's just the greenness that's giving me that kind of a vibe. Let me know if you're a fan of Wulong Cha. I think it's awesome. So last fragrance in the tea category we're going to talk about is Sunday Brunch from the house of Kierin NYC. This is definitely my favorite fragrance from the house. I love its super coziness, and I love the name too, Sunday Brunch. It's a great time to go have brunch and in this case, drink some tea, I guess. So it's a bit lemony, it's smooth, a little bit creamy, but a lovely laid back kind of a tea focused fragrance that's super fresh. I think it's created by perfumer Matthew Nardan, and I fell in love with that right as I smelled it for the first time. Yeah, I like the burst of sunshine with the citruses that's featured there. Really wonderful. Are you guys a fan of the brand? I think we featured this recently in a mystery box, but I love this fragrance. Let me know what your thoughts are on Kierin NYC. All right, tea fragrances for spring. Thanks so much for watching that video. Did you enjoy the tea fragrances for spring? Do you enjoy wearing tea in the spring, or are you more of a tea in the autumn kind of person? Let me know. There are certain varieties of teas. Some of them can be more bright and uplifting, which I find to be more appropriate for spring. And some of them can be warmer and cozier for the autumn months, which kind of is appropriate for that time of the year as well. But let me know your thoughts on the fragrances I featured here today. Let me know what you would add to the list as well. I'd like to find out. But thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Please like this video, please share it. That helps with the algorithm, guys. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon so it notifies you for future videos. And lastly, don't forget ScentFest. We'd really love to see you here. Bye-bye.